I didn't mean to be this late with this video. Cause Mania is already damn near a week out. Like it's gone. It's past. And I always like to record right when stuff happens, right after stuff happens, right? It I was in Texas last weekend. I was tired. I had work. It's been a lot. I'm not going to give you my sob story. We're going to jump right in. And if I feel the need to continue telling you what's been going on, I shall. I'm going off of notes per usual, but I'm heavily depending on my notes because it's been a week. And I'm sorry again. And I'm doing this before SmackDown happens tonight. It's y'all. Okay. Bear with me. I love y'all. So first, I do want to quickly speak on the fact that Carmelo Hayes won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale the Friday before Mania. Happy for him. Extremely well deserved. I know I was talking mess about him because he's irritating, but it's just like it's that character that's kind of like the annoying little brother. But I have no issues with him. His in-ring is crazy, and just him as a character, I actually enjoy it. So I enjoy being annoyed by him, if that makes sense. So congrats to him. I think that's amazing. What kind of push they're going to give him from that, don't know. They need to do right by my dude though. Okay, just saying that. Now, Saturday. So Jay and Gunther opened the show. Y'all should know when it comes to Jay, and when it comes to Jay and Gunther, and when it comes to Jay being main event Jay Uso and not getting the main event, even though he knew what it was, you know what I'm saying? And he had even mentioned he wanted to go first, right? So, hey, it is what it is. That's what happened, okay? So, I was a little surprised he did not come out with anybody. Like, no musician, no artist, no nothing, right? But I did like it, the people with the big yeet flags, and he didn't come through like a regular entrance, which, when was the last time he really did like a legit, I'm going down the walkway, the way everybody else does kind of thing. So, I thought that was neat. Love the gear. Makazi did his big one again. Love it. Him and the team, because I know it's not just him, but him and the squad. Y'all did y'all big one again for Jay. But I am also happy that Jay did not yeet as much as he had been, because he had kind of slowed down on it, like leading up to Mania, to preserve energy. Been asking that of him. So happy that he still yeeted, you know what I'm saying, but he didn't overexert himself before the match. This was a big match. This was a big deal. So I'm happy that he went that route. I don't remember what part of the match this was when Gunther was like, "We're not doing this." He rolls out, grabs the belt, like, "You're not ruining this for me. Like, we're not doing this. I am not doing this." Okay. But I don't remember what happened specifically in that time frame, but he ends up back in the ring, right? And also I was like, did Jay hear me when I said that he needed to use a submission move? He needed to add that to his repertoire, even if it was just for Mania. I needed him to use Gunther's moves against him, because that had been kind of the pattern, where, like a lot of these higher, I don't want to say high profile, but higher profile, like serious rivalries where the dudes and the women in the ring were using their opponent's moves against them, and Jay did just that, and I'm so happy he did that. I was hoping he would do that. He did it. I enjoyed it. Now, I get that people do not believe in that tap out from Gunther, and I've seen some think pieces on it. Some make sense, of course, others do not. Storyline wise, Gunther didn't want to be taken out the same way he's been taking out his opponents. That is one of the arguments that I've seen, and I believe that because like I haven't really followed Gunther. I mean, I have been since he's been at Raw for the most part. Well, since I've been watching, so I get how that makes a ton of sense. Where it's like, you know, he can dish it out, but he can't take it, in a sense, right? So maybe that is more embarrassing for him than just being put to sleep. Maybe, don't know. That's just me, just talking it out. Okay. But anyways, happy to see Big Jim come out there to be in that moment with his brother. I've even seen things recently where Jay was like, this is for both of us. It's not just me, you know, all the hard work that they both put in. And then even, you know, Jimmy sacrificing himself for the storyline to get a little boost because people were tired. It wasn't giving what it was expected to give in the moment, right? So shouts out to Big Jim. Very proud of my Jay, my champion. And of course, you know, there will always be a lot to be said about that match, about Jay, but I'm not here for that right now. Okay, we're going to move on because there's a lot to cover and I don't want to be on here all day. So next we have Naomi and Jade. It was a great match. Both ladies looked incredible. They did their thing. I was really hoping for a Naomi win because with Jade winning, what now? Like, even after those amazing promos Naomi cut and everything she's been doing with her turn, Jade won. I mean, I would like to think that the two of them will be battling for a title at some point, and maybe Bianca will get thrown back into all of this. Don't know. That's just what I'm looking at. El Grande Americano, whatever. I did not really watch that match. The only reason I would have even maybe attempted to watch is because of Rey Mysterio, but Rey was hurt, so he got pulled out. This is just disrespectful. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. Now they did replace Rey Mysterio with Rey Fenix, but again, I barely watched this match. So, moving on. The War Raiders versus the New Day. I'm happy for the New Day. I really am. Heel or no heel, happy for the New Day and them getting the win. But the match didn't really do nothing for me. Didn't make me feel anything special. Like I said, happy for the New Day. If the War Raiders would have kept, okay. But it didn't do nothing for me. So, yeah. Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, speaking of, did nothing for me. I just wasn't there for it. I'm not mad Tiff got the win. I probably wouldn't have cared if Charlotte got it, to be honest. And I saw somebody post the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other. And they were like, that's what that was. That's exactly what that was. They were a mirror of each other. Hair, gear, moves slightly, whatever. It just, it didn't do nothing for me. Nothing. Yeah. Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. This was a good match. So happy for Jacob. First Mania, first title in WWE. I'm hoping big things are coming. I don't like the fact that Solo just didn't really have a lot of parts for this. Like in Mania at all, he did walk out with Jacob, but that was it. I mean, he's been the one. His character has been pushing Jacob forward, like pushing, like you know what? I'm gonna sit this one out. I want Jacob in there. So I guess, but Solo did so much last year for that damn storyline, for the OG storyline, and Bloodline 2.0 storylines. But I look happy for Jacob. Definitely want to see more from Jacob, but I don't want them to just completely write off Solo unless that's what he wants, right? Roman, Seth, and CM Punk. I had to watch this match twice. From the jump, I knew Roman was not winning that. I still love Roman, right? I guess my feelings aren't as strong for him as of late for a lot of reasons, not just the Vanity Fair thing. I'm not going into that, okay? But it's not the same, right? It's Jimmy, Solo, Jacob for me. You know what I'm saying? And I know he put them on. So anyways, before we get caught up in that, I felt Roman wasn't going to win. I didn't know that it would be because of what transpired with Heyman, though. Am I surprised Heyman turned? No, not at all. He's always 20, 30 steps ahead of everybody. Always has been. Seth, not upset that Seth is being pushed as the guy now with Heyman there. Just not. So will he leave now? Will Roman leave and then come back and be even more ruthless because everyone is turning on him, even though he has still never fixed his mouth to apologize to his own family? Anyways, so yeah, night one was cool. It was alright. Night two, Bianca, Io, and Rhea started the show. I was a little disappointed Bianca didn't get the win, but really happy for Io. That was a really, really great match for those ladies. I still wonder what it would have been like if it was just Bianca and Io and what we would have gotten. But that was a great match. The ladies did their thing, as always, right? Carrying PLEs, right? Drew versus Damian. This was a really good match, too. I actually enjoyed it. Did I like the fact that Drew won? No. He's been complaining way too much for him to not have won. Okay. I'm a Damian girly. Okay. I would have loved for him to get that win. But this is not the end for Damian. I don't know what they're going to do with him moving forward. But hey, that is what it was. Drew was going to get a win at some point. Like I said, he's been whining on both shows. So they had to give him something. Braun Breaker, Penta, Dom, and Finn. I just had a feeling Braun was not retaining. This was another one of those situations. I don't hate Braun. I really don't. I really don't. I'm not going to speak on his title run because I feel like that's what everybody's been talking about with everybody who's had a belt. Everybody's unimpressed with everybody's title run. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not about to participate in that. But I am seriously happy for Dominic, King Chicken Tender, Mysterio. Okay? I am really I was literally almost emotional that he got it. Yes, he had help. Okay, when is he ever not going to have help as long as the Judgment Day is somewhat together as a unit? But I love this for him. If this is going to be a possible face push, possibly pushing him against Finn later down the line, I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed that. I did. Penta is going to get his opportunity. Ray Phoenix is going to get his opportunity. I'm not upset. It was great to see them perform, right? It was great to see that. Randy Orton and his mystery opponent, who ended up being Joe Hendry. At first I was like, what? But then I forgot they have this newly formed partnership with TNA, so it makes sense. It was a bit of a squash match, sort of, but it is what it is. I love Randy. Love me some Randy. I'm looking forward to whatever they're going to push with him and Cena. I'm here for that, mainly because of Randy, not for the other party involved. It was pretty entertaining. You know what I'm saying? So, Liv and Raquel versus Lyra. Now, it was supposed to be Lyra and Bayley. Bayley was attacked backstage. That's a whole nother can of worms too. So they brought out Becky Lynch to be her tag partner. They won. Okay, they won. I'm not a big fan of Liv. I love Raquel, but I'm not a big fan of Liv. But they were the actual real cohesive tag team in that situation, and they lost their belts. I have no words for Logan and AJ's match. I barely watched it, not because of AJ, because I love AJ. And I was going to try to watch and support because of AJ. But because of the other person in the ring who did get the win, I'm not going to speak anymore on it. Not on this page. Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Now, if you've been living under a rock, if you are a wrestling fan and you are online, and you somehow missed the fact that The Rock was not there, Travis Scott was there. That ruined it for me, that Travis was there. I could have completely done without him. Completely. But to be honest, I wasn't really fully invested in this match. I ain't feel no way. It's like, okay, Cena won. He got the record. Yay. And everybody's mad because the match was trash. And Cena's ruining wrestling like he said he would in his promo. And then others are like, no, it's more than that. It was just a really bad match. I didn't enjoy it, no way. Didn't really particularly care. Like I said, I was not invested. And I just want to say one thing about The Rock. I know I'm not the only person who is about to say that, who has said this, is about to say that. Okay. For people who have been telling The Rock to stay away, he's not needed, he's not wanted, why are y'all so upset that he didn't show up? Food for thought. But yeah, so overall, it was okay. I feel like night 2 was better than night 1 as a cohesive situation of, give or take a couple of matches. Night 1 wasn't bad. Of course, you had Jay. Of course, we had Drew and Damian. We had Naomi and Jade. So maybe it's almost a tie between the two nights. Is it something I'm super excited to talk about anymore? No. A lot of talk has come out of this last Mania for a lot of different reasons. But of course, Jay was a highlight for me. The men and women's triple threats and, all those matches. Naomi and Jay, Drew and Jay, like I said. So, yeah. And don't worry, I'm not gonna go into Monday Night Raw. I really just want to talk Mania really quick. Just really a usual recap for Mania. It was a lot. I still have a ton of thoughts about things, but I'm not gonna keep y'all with that. But yeah, it was a lot of missed opportunities of the matches they could have and should have had on the card. But you know how Triple H feels about us, who have thoughts and things that we feel they maybe should have done that maybe would have been more entertaining, like the fact that this ladder match with Street Profits, DIY, and Motor City Machine Gun should have been at Mania and not for tonight's SmackDown. The fact that you should have had Chelsea versus Zelina for the women's U.S. title. The fact that Lyra should have had an opportunity to defend her title. And the fact that Liv and Raquel should have had a different team to go against that wasn't just thrown together last minute because y'all decided to put your foot on the brakes at the very last second. It was just throwing people together. But again, I digress. Again, you know how H feels about us, apparently. So, yeah. Yeah, so that's really where I'm at with this. I don't know if y'all would care for me to talk about Raw for Monday and SmackDown that's going to happen tonight. But I'll probably put this up first. And if I decide to just do kind of like a catch up, a recap of everything that happened post-Mania, I will do that. But I really want to come on, get all these Mania thoughts out of my head. And like I said, just work, be adjusting to things. We went on a trip, so that threw me off a lot. But I will be back. I'm going to try to figure out a schedule for myself to record just all these thoughts that I do have in my head. But I'm going to go now. This is long enough. I appreciate y'all if you have sat through the whole thing. And I promise I will be back sooner than later. but this has been cool. I'll holla at y'all.